Okay, so let's see, are we streaming? Doesn't look like it yet. Um, yeah, we are. Okay. So, good evening. Yeah. Sorry, we'll start that again. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. For those that are here live, I'm going to be going through. Basically, we have 100 slabs here to my left. Well, close to 100. It's not exactly 100, but I'll be going through basically what all came in basically earlier this morning. I've had a chance to look at them all. There was quite a few that were sent back by CGC themselves, but there's also going to be quite a few sent back by me because I don't think these are passable to be sending off to customers. So we'll make a start anyway with our first slab that I'm going to show you basically the ones from this first batch of 25 that I think should be sent back. So up first we have the Amazing Spider-Man 33, the Disney variant. Now there's 3 of these that need to go back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you the damage that CGC London, whenever they were inspecting them, missed. I can understand how they missed this because they don't fully take them out of the bag, as far as I'm aware. They just very quickly take them out to make sure there's no obvious signs of damage, and then they send them on to me. So I'll have to get an email sent off about this. Let's see if I can get this to show up well enough. But hopefully you can see that. I know it is struggling to autofocus. But down basically here, and it's on the back of every CGC slab, so if you have one you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. They have just little ridges at all 4 corners, and it's just to help them stack on top of each other. And on these slabs that have came in, they all have the exact same damage where it's been chipped away. And I found it, I was able to notice it because when I took them out of the bags, they had a little piece of plastic sitting around in them. So it was easy enough for me to tell that there was indeed an actual issue with it. So we had 3 of them that were all damaged, and then we had one of the Amazing Spider-Man 35s which had the exact same damage, where it's on one of the corners on the back, just one of the wee lips they used to sort of steady them was slightly chipped. And again, I'm going to try and see, can I get it so you can see it. I don't know how well the autofocus is going to pick this up. In fact, it seems to be struggling completely with it. Well, there's just typical, you get fancy cameras and they can't even focus on anything you want. If I put my hand maybe behind it, it might focus a wee bit better. No dice. Okay, so you'll just have to believe me. Basically, that's what's happening. So I've already them noted down on my system I use to sort of manage this all. The tick box ticked that they're going to have to go back, so I'll be getting the emails then sent out later this evening. I just need to write up just a wee quick description of why they need to be sent back. But I'm sure those here have to have them sent back. Yes, it's disappointing, but you wouldn't want to be spending the money you've been spending on slabs for them to come with one of the obvious things about them already broke. So we can keep them off to the side. The rest of this batch then, from this 25, they were all okay. Some of them do have small little cracks along the sides, but again, it's hard plastic being enclosed with other hard plastic. It's always going to be the case. I don't think CGC can do anything about that. I shouldn't really expect them to do anything about that either. So up next then we have a customer submission, Amazing Spider-Man 26, and this is the Simone Bianchi variant believe that is some form of ratio, but I'm not 100% sure. Up next then we have Blade #1. This is the Frank Miller Virgin cover. And I'm pretty confident that that's a 1 in 100. Not 100% sure on that again, but I have a feeling that was, there's a variant cover for that, with this being the 1 in 100 for it. So we've got 2 9/8s there. And as we go along, I'm just going to be putting them back in their bags and getting them ready to go into the boxes that you can see up here. Oh, this is difficult to do. Right. So I don't think I'll be on this for too long tonight. I think I'm getting through them pretty quickly. I'll be able to get this done within about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Any that are multiples, I'll try and speed through them quicker. But up next we have then Captain America issue 1 from, I believe it was last year, yeah, and is a George Perez cover. Beautiful cover. I had basically got hold of 1 in 100 of this, and I had it included in the Christmas boxes as well. And it was just basically the same cover, but just a Virgin cover of it. So up next then we have some of these Amazing Spider-Mans, the Disney variants that weren't damaged, as in all 4 of the wee bits on the back were all fine, as was the rest of it. And there we have one of the Amazing Spider-Man 35 Disney variants. And I said we had quite a few of these, so I'm just going to show them very quickly instead of going through each and every single one and talking about them. Okay, so very quickly going to put these back in their bags. I suppose with these, the 100 that did come in, they have me a wee bit worried now for the 25 that are going to be coming in within probably by next Saturday, in the sense that that next 25 that coming in has 4 10s, and I think it was 7 or 8 9.9s. I really hope I don't have to send any of them back. Hopefully they all just arrive flawlessly. Hope this is just maybe a case of, because these were done over the holiday period, there's maybe just a wee bit less, they're a wee bit more lax when it comes to quality control. Up next then we have an Amazing Spider-Man 26. This is the Arthur Adams sketch cover. And again, I believe this is a ratio. I'll just look at the back of it really quickly. Yeah, it's not like a store exclusive or anything, so this is a ratio, and this would be a customer submission again. Very nice cover. Adam's quite good artist, and I have quite a few of his books already, myself personally. But he is an artist that I personally have stopped collecting. There's more of his older stuff I was sort of more into. Up next then we have an Amazing Spider-Man 37. And this is, again, another Disney variant. If I see any more of them in this batch, I'll just put them up without really talking about them. But again, these are all ones that have passed my inspection, so they're all basically going to be ready to go. Up next then we have a stunning Art Germ cover. This is one that I've even got, I think I got 2 copies just for myself, simply because I love the cover. And I do believe there's a few more. I'm just trying to see, can I find them, or are they in another batch? Yeah, I think they're in another batch. So we can skip through them once we get to them. But yes, sorry, it's Ji Hung Lee. Amazing cover. And when I first seen it on previews, I knew straight away it would be quite a popular one, and it did prove to be quite a popular one. With just beautiful artwork. Haven't read the book itself. I have no idea if it was any good or not. Not too sure how this one will show up. We've got Supergirl Special #1. This is a Will Jack cover, and it's a foil cover, and it's showing up actually quite nice. I've actually really liked this one. I have a few sitting that are I consider 9/8s that are still in the raw format. I'm probably going to send them in, even just for myself. Maybe one or two. Maybe I'll sell a few of them on the group. I'm not too sure just yet. It's mainly, a lot of it is trying to get the time to list them again. Up next then we have Star Trek Picard's Academy #1. And this is from an artist that's quickly becoming quite a popular artist for a lot of people, but also for myself as well, in Sweeney Boo. They do a lot of DC, of the Harley covers, and I haven't really got a lot of them graded, but I've been collecting them raw myself because I just really like their art style. I'm not really going to call out too many of the grades on this, not really to brag, but there's roughly, out of the 100, there's probably about 90 9/8s, and then there's just a few 9/6s. So I'm just, no point in me calling out 98 non-stop. But up next we have an Uncanny Spider-Man issue #1, Scotty Young. For me, near enough, I generally think maybe the cover artist that puts out the most covers every year. It's every time I'm doing the website each week, it feels like Scotty's got two covers per week. Him or Peach Momoko, it's hard to tell, but they do have their set style, and yes, they'll hit it big with some of their covers, but a lot of their covers are very, very similar. But with Scotty Young, I collect them all as much as I can. It is, a lot of people don't like the artwork. I really like it. So this here then is another customer submission, and I've been having a look at this, and to be honest, I don't know how I got it 9/6, considering the one that I'm about to show you after got a 9/8. This one's got about 3 very small spine ticks that don't break colour. And what it is Ghost Rider Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance, Alpha, issue 1, the Frank Miller Virgin cover. And again, I believe that's basically a ratio that's a 1 in 100. Got a 9/6. And then we've got the same book, but this cover is then by George Perez. And again, this one got a 9/8. But if I was personally grading them, I wouldn't have been giving them a 9/8 for either of them, because they have too many spine ticks for me. A 9/8 should have at the very most 2 very minor spine ticks, and they shouldn't break colour. If any of them break colour, it should never be a 9/8. But 2 really, really nice covers, 2 customer submissions, and I'm sure the customer will be actually very pleased with the results of those books, especially if I'm right in saying they are those 1 in 100s. I have found it quite difficult to get ratios to be quite, or I found ratios very hard to grade in a 9/8. I don't know if it's because I'm a small store and I don't really get them too often, so they just fire me whatever. But yeah, I've been struggling to get 9/8s with them. So up next then, and just to finish off this first batch of 25, with Green Arrow issue 5, Alvaro Martinez Bueno cover. Not to my particular tastes, but each to their own. Some people obviously like, that's what makes artwork, isn't it? So great. Some people like some art styles, some people will like others. It's why there's so many, obviously, artists out there with all the variety. But yeah, another 9/8 for it. Okay. And to continue on then, we're on to another batch then. So this is another box that arrived, and a bit of a story behind this one. This one, CGC London basically sent me an email. For some reason they send the email when the items are being picked up. So as soon as they're picked up by Royal Mail, they then tell me, okay, this has all been sent back to be fixed, even though they've been sitting there for about maybe 2 or 3 days. But this batch of 25, they sent back 6 of them, and I'm going to be sending back, I think roughly, is it 8 of them, all with that same issue where the wee lip in the back of them is basically broke off. But the wee story behind this was basically a batch that I started I'm starting to basically expand into eBay a wee bit more, and every single eBay person who's bought these, they're all having to go back to be fixed, and they've had to wait quite a while, and I'm a bit annoyed about it, that this is going to have to happen. And again, I'm going to show, basically direct them to this video so that they can see that I'm not personally bullshitting them, that this is what's happening. So up first, I believe all the covers of this that I got all have that same damage to the back of them. It's Action Comics 1058 Carla Cohn cover. It's an absolutely stunning cover. I absolutely love this cover. I think it's amazing. I'm kind of jealous I didn't buy a bit more so that I could get some graded myself. All the ones that arrived that I consider 98 have been graded, and they're all for customers. All the rest I wouldn't really send off because I think they're 94s or 96s really. But a brilliant cover. But again, they all have to go back for that same issue on the back with a little bit of it destroyed. So I'll set them off to the side. I'm also using a new mic today. So if even anybody's able to leave a comment or anything, just to make sure it sounds good. I should probably do all this testing beforehand, but it's a bit difficult to get the time to do it all and get all set up properly. So again, we're continuing with the comics that are going to have to be sent back to be fixed. All with the same holder issues of the back of them, the small little lip and one of the corners, or sometimes two of them, is smashed. So we have another Amazing Spider-Man Disney variant to go. This one then is a Red Sonja Birth of the She-Devil issue 4. This is a Gerald Perel cover, and it's a Virgin cover. This is one of these covers that I would have offered out in the group, saying I've inspected it, I think it's a 98, and lo and behold it got a 98. Amazing Spider-Man 35 Disney, again going back to be fixed. And then I think near enough every copy of this I got has to go back to be fixed, which is Spider-Boy issue 1, the cover A variant. So another one of them. And then we have a Car Andrews cover. I hope this camera actually even picks this up, just to see. If I'm grading this personally myself, I don't know how this gets a 98. It makes no sense to me, and again reinforces that belief in me that they grade Marvel easier than they grade every other company. So when I sent this off, this didn't have this damage in it, otherwise I wouldn't have sent it off, but I can see plain as day it is damaged. I don't know again how it gets a 98. I'm going to see, can I get this with it being foil? It might be very difficult to see, but we will try our best. So I think you can pick it up there. Again, I'm looking at a wee preview screen, so it's hard to see if the camera's picking it up, but you can see there's a bit of damage there in that top left. It's like somebody's pressed hard on it with a thumb, but I'm even noticing on the top right here. And again, I'm sort of shooting myself in the foot because this is what the business I've run is about, is getting 98s, but I'm quite an honest person, and when it comes to it, again, I think they're too lenient with grades. There's so many books I see that get 98s that if I was grading them personally, I wouldn't grade them a 98. And the reason I send them off, because I know what CGC will do, and I know CGC will go, yeah, let's give that a 98. So again, these all need to be fixed, so they're all going back. And again, I'll get emails fired out pretty quickly tonight. Once I'm done with this, I'll just be opening up the laptop and firing them out. So now on to the comics from that batch that did pass my exam. So we have a Spider-Boy 1 cover A. So I was kind of lying earlier where I said every cover I got of them was damaged. So let me just put these in a separate box. We then have a Will Jack foil version of Supergirl Special issue 1. Again, this is absolutely love this cover. Absolutely love this cover. I think it's brilliant. No matter what the comic community says so far, that I keep hearing Marvel's superior, Marvel's superior. They do not come or lay a glove on DC when it comes to covers. The DC covers for the past, I'd say easily 5 years, have been phenomenal for a lot of their stuff. Another Spider-Boy one, cover A, and with another one, and another one. So I think we have a few people maybe specking on Spider-Boy ones. This wouldn't be first appearance, but this would be first solo series. So I can't see it ever going hundreds of pounds, but I could see this book eventually rising a bit in price. Most first solo series will rise in price. And Spider-Boy, I believe, will be around for a while. Can't see Marvel letting that one slip, and it's only a good thing for the hobby if it encourages more younger and younger readers. The more you obviously get into the hobby, the bigger it will become, and once they're finished with Spider-Boy, they'll then move on to some more adult series with more adult themes in their stories. So we have another of the Supergirl special Will Jack covers. This is just a regular non-foil cover, but again, is equally as amazing. Absolutely beautiful cover. Up next then we have Spider-Boy 1, the John Tyler Christopher negative space covers. These were ones that I was actually a tiny bit worried about, but all the ones I got back, I believe, got 98. Pretty sure I got 98. I bought so many of these to get a 98 because I have been struggling to get good quality. A lot of the comics, and I would say probably 75% of the comics that Diamond UK send me of this are of John Tyler negative variants. There's so much just basically marks all around the front cover, and I firmly believe that's not on them, on Diamond. I firmly believe that's on Marvel, and their illustrious paper quality that they use. So I'm just double checking that. Yeah, this is right. So we have then Fish Flies number 2. This is the Kelly Jones cover, and this is a recalled edition. I'm not too sure why this was recalled. I didn't send mine back because Diamond then didn't send me my orders to replace it. So whenever I see a recall go out, I wait to make sure that I'm getting replacements. And it happened to me with World Tree as well, where I had 50 covers ordered. I was then told we're going to recall them because of the whole, it was a wee bit too dark, the cover, and Diamond then didn't send me any covers to replace it, or any comics to replace it. So I had to then go and source them from, I believe I bought them from Economics and Comics, which basically cost double because I had shipped from America. So yeah, I kind of learned my lesson from then. Anything Diamond say, oh, we need to recall that, I'll wait a few weeks, a month or two. I'm going to make sure you're sending me the copy to replace it, because I simply don't trust your company at all anymore. So let me just mix or set these to the side, these bags. So that is the second batch done. We're on to the third one. I'm just seeing what we're like for time. Yeah, we'll be finished this in about 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to go through the ones, the first few then, that I believe are going to be fixed by CGC. And we have another copy of Ji Hung Lee's Spider-Gwen Annual number 1. Again, same issue. A little bit in the back has just been chipped off, and to me, CGC should be fixing this. I'm going to email obviously about this on Monday, and I'll find out a proper answer, but I'm going to actually kick up a big fuss if they don't, because it's a bit of a joke if they don't fix this. Up next then we have Avengers issue 5. part of the Alex Ross, was it X-Men and Avengers 60th anniversary piece that he done. So there was 8 comics, 4 of them for the Avengers, 4 of them for X-Men, and they basically all connect in covers. I believe this is the one as well that, again, I hate harping on about this company, but the comic supplier for the UK just didn't send me my copies, and after a while were just told me tough. So again, had to go and source these from America as well. And then the last one that I consider damaged is this one, Night Terror's Angel Breaker issue 1, Ivan Tao cover. Yeah, Ivan Tao cover. Same issue. The back of it is got a little chip in it that needs to be fixed. So all the rest then are just comics that are basically going to be sent out an email saying they're ready to be shipped or remain stacked. Up first we have a Dan Mora cover for Flash #1. It's a very, very nice cover. Flash covers for me, there's not a huge variety in them. They all sort of have that same sort of similar look to them. And I think it's just mainly to do with the character. It's hard to imagine them drawn any other way other than them going really fast. So it'd be nice to see a few Flash covers come out that just have a completely different take on them. But again, it's sort of limited by his own powers there, really. So up next, have a Harley Quinn issue 1 Jenny Frison cover, and most people enjoy Jenny Frison covers. I'm one of them. Just a beautiful cover, very nice cover art. Really like the way you have that tear effect on the page, and you have sort of a pixelated older version of it. Let me just see what's just happened there now. I've had a camera shut off. So say this is just me getting this all sort of set up, so if the camera facing me shuts off in a few minutes, I'll just turn it back on. I still haven't fully got this set up properly of what I want it to be like. Up next then we have Star Wars Dark Droids D-Squad issue 1 John Tyler Christopher action figure cover. It's quite the mouthful. I'm going to be honest, I absolutely hated sorting this set for 3 customers, simply because you have Star Wars Dark Droids, you have Star Wars Dark Droids D-Squad, and their covers are basically identical. I actually believe there's a Star Wars Dark Droids issue 1 John Tyler Christopher cover that is this exact cover, and it's such a head wreck, especially since they all came out basically, they come out one week and then the next week was the exact same, or at the other book, and then back to the other book, back to the other book. Very, very confusing. Again, you're trying to encourage more readers into the scene. They're going to be picking up one book casually. They might then go, oh, next week there's the next issue of it, and realize it's a completely different story. So I don't really know what Marvel was playing at that. They should have waited a month apart. But yeah, they didn't. So up next then, so out of the 100 that I sent off, I've had a few 9.6s. They weren't through the Slab Crusade. They were either through customer submissions or just fucking slabbed, and that basically means I've got no 98 guarantee. This is one that just went through just fucking slab it basically. So it didn't go through Slab Crusade and ended up with a 9.6. And looking at it, I don't really know how I got it 9.6, but it's the Batman facsimile edition for issue 1. And it's the foil variant of it. Absolutely, I don't know if the camera does it justice. It looks absolutely stunning in front of me here. Quite jealous I didn't again buy any more so that I could have one myself. The customer who got this also got another one, and they did get a 9.8. So they sort of gambled a wee bit in the fact that a wee bit cheaper to do it just through fucking slab it. But it doesn't obviously come with that 98 guarantee. But as you can see, still quite good. We've got one a 98, one a 96. Up next then we have another one of these Alex Ross connecting variants. This one is for Avengers Inc. issue 1. And Alex Ross, amazing artist. So much detail in all their work. Although I believe this one was maybe a bit lazy in the fact that they'd already done the artwork for something else, and then they just chopped it up into 4 bits. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm fairly certain that's what happened. The artwork was already done and it was just chopped up into 4 to do 4 comics for a connecting cover. Up next we have an Amazing Spider-Man 33 Disney variant. This batch of 3 with I think it was 32, 33 and maybe 31 of the Disney variants, where it's Captain Marvel. What were the other ones? Well, obviously Ms. Marvel, and I forget what the third one was. They're starting to grow on me more and more. Didn't really like them when they first came out, but they are starting to grow on me more and more. Up next then we have Scotty Young variant for Alligator Loki issue 1. And again, I've said it before, Scotty Young puts out so many covers. A lot of people don't like the artwork. I for one do like it, and I think that's one of the basically the covers that they did try on, because it does look good, well in my eyes anyway. Another Disney variant, this one for Amazing Spider-Man 35. Up next we then have another one of the Alex Ross connecting covers, Avengers 4. So I had one customer buy the Avengers, the 4 of them, and I've got 98 on every one of them for them. So I'm sure they'll be happy with that, and that should be a nice display piece, the 4 of them together. Up next then we have Amazing Spider-Man 37 Disney variant. This batch that came out was quite good. I think it's 39 is my favourite. The one with is it X-Men? It's the X-Men homage where it shows, I think it's Donald Duck as Wolverine, and they've got marshmallows on their claws, which is quite cool. This one then is Art Germ variant for Wonder Woman issue number 1. Artgerm really put out quite a lot of quality covers this past year. Quite a few DC covers as well. And again, not just really going to talk about too much, but another Amazing Spider-Man 35 Disney variant. We'll soon be finished with this batch. Here we have the other Batman Facsimile edition for issue 1, the foil. Absolutely beautiful book. And again, I don't think the camera will ever do that justice. That's stunning with that foil. And this one I just need to actually take a quick double check at it, because I think it's okay. Yeah, that's all good. So this one we have Sacrifices issue 2, and it's a Max Fiumara cover. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. That's actually a bit harsh. So on the back it says cover by Max Fiumara and Dave McCaig, but on the front CGC don't recognise Dave McCaig. Oh, lovely. There we go. So Sacrifices 2, I have not read the series at all. I have no idea about it, if it's good or not. Up next then we have Batwoman, or Batman Catwoman, The Gotham War Scorched Earth issue 1. This is a Ron Lim variant, and this is one that I purchased a few extra just so to try and get myself one. I think I have enough to get myself one. I will need to double check. There's also, I believe, a foil version of this. But yeah, it's quite the stunning cover. I would be very happy to display that up on the wall. Up next then we have The Mandalorian Season 2 Issue 3. I believe this is cover A, and this is a first appearance book. I think I have more of them here, so I'm just going to take one of them. Yeah, so this is the first appearance of, I have no idea, Koska, Reeves and Axe Wolves in comics. So I think they are people from the show, but I'm not too sure. So we've got two of them. I'm just not going to show the other one because it's the exact same grade, the exact same comic. So there's not much point really. Two more to finish off this batch. We then have The Exiled issue 6. This is Gabriel Santos artwork, and it's a homage to the Men in Black. I think actually this is one of the other ones from that went through Slab Crusade that got a 9.6. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure why I got a 9.6. Just looking at it very quickly again, can't really see anything. And again, considering that there was a few Marvel comics that got 9.8 that had spine ticks, this has got no spine ticks. Corners are sharp. The only potential downside is on the back of the bottom right, there is the slightest little nick. But I can guarantee you if this was a Marvel book, this is a 9.8 all day long. And I'm sure CGC really need another controversial topic to appear when it comes to them and grading. But they're still the market leader, the most trusted. The other companies just didn't or haven't stepped up enough to take them out. Final batch, or one for this batch then, is Star Wars Bounty Hunters 37. This is a Chris Spouse basically movie variant, and this is part of the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary variant covers. So there's quite a few of them around, but there we go, that's that one. So quite an iconic scene from the movie. And I will say it with, as per usual, a 9.8. So let me just move one or two wee things around here. We'll set that there, and then we can move this box up here so we can set these last batch in. And we'll set the bags here. So I'm actually going to double check this batch because this was the first batch I checked, and I didn't notice anything straight away about the bag of them, but again I'm going to double check them all here just so I know that none of them need to go back. This one then, Amazing Spider-Man 31, this is the second printing. This is the Scott Hanna variant. There was two of these styles that came out of these magazine covers. The reason both of them should have came back at the same time, but again, placed my order well in time of FOC, and the other variant didn't show up. So I've had to source it from other places, and it should be getting graded soon. I have a batch of about 100 that were sent off that are taking an absolute age to appear on the CGC system. Hopefully they'll be appearing soon. So this is, I believe, the other one that I was referring to about the set of 3 that I have grown on me a bit more. We've got an Amazing Spider-Man 32 Disney variant, and there's another cover of it. There'll probably be a few more of them sprinkled in this last batch. Again, we've got some nice 9.8s for it. We then have Mandalorian Season 2 Issue 3. This is the David Baladon variant. There we go. And then we have another one of the cover A's. as well. So Mandalorian for me was absolutely amazing. Season 1 in a way, but I actually haven't watched the second season of it. Hopefully it is as good as the first. Up next then you have another Amazing Spider-Man Disney variant, so that's Amazing Spider-Man 32. These were also ones that, yes, I got a lot of 98s, but thankfully I ordered the number of them I did, because they were atrocious, some of the conditions that they arrived on. So much so that I was nearly considering giving up doing Slab Crusaders, because it was getting too much, some of the damages that were arriving for them. Up next then we have Battle Chasers issue 12. This is the Artgerm cover. So again, as I said, Artgerm last year put out some stunning covers, this being another one of them. I think we have 2 of them. Yeah, we've got two of them. So we can set the other one up just so you can see it. But we also then have, for the same issue, we have a Derek Chew cover, which is as well very, very nice. So I think when that Battle Chasers 12 was coming out, there was maybe about 4 or 5 covers that were very, very tempting for people. But these are the 2 that sort of won out in the end. And it's really hard to figure out why this one won out in the end over all the others. Not to be too crude. So these next, if I have them sort of set up right, which I don't, so I'll just keep this one to the side, and that's simply because a few of these are personally for me. But up next we have a giant size X-Men facsimile edition. Got 98 in it. This is one that I bought quite a few of, and actually found quite hard for me personally to grade a lot of them 98s, and that was simply because the corners down in the bottom left or the top left, they were like very badly torn. It was obviously a bit of a printing error with them being a thicker issue, but I just didn't trust that they would get 98s. So 98s and them might actually be a bit difficult to come by. This is one that makes very little sense to me. It did get a 98. It's the Death of Venomverse issue 3, the Dell Auto 1 in 10. I've had one person basically purchase the 5 covers of these, so there's issue 1 to 5, each of them have a Dell Auto connected variant 1 in 10. The reason why I'm saying this is weird is in the sense that I sent issue 2 off before issue 3. Issue 2 is even yet to appear on the CGC system, but issue 3 is back already graded. At times, as I said, it is very hard to figure out what CGC are playing at. But yeah, I'll be starting to properly worry if issue 4 somehow gets graded before issue 2. So up next, we have a few issues that were done through fucking Slabbit. And obviously the way I work is if there's purchases for Slabbed Crusade, they go first. And then the next best quality ones will go through fucking Slabbit. The vast majority of the time, I think if I look up at my stats there, for Slab Crusade now, I'm back up to 95% success rate. And then for fucking Slabbit, it is sitting at 86. So still very high success rate, but because it's charged less, I'm not able to get as many copies in. And I'll not send them if I think they're horrendous quality. But to me, that was a quick look at that. I thought that was a 98. It came back a 96 for it. Same for the next one. And again, these John Tyler Christopher ones, I was quite worried about when a lot of them came in. simply because of the paper quality at Marvel. A lot of the colour gets rubbed off these big time, so I have lots of copies that have colour rub on them, where the colour is just rubbed off and it's just white, which is quite annoying. Not too sure how this got a 9.6, but it did. Just a few more to go, and that will be us done for the night. We'll get through these ones quite quickly. So we have another copy of Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy Issue 1. Again, John Tyler Christopher negative variant. I don't know which one I like better. I don't know if I like this, the first printing, or the second printing of this better. I'm leaning more towards the second printing, simply because I'm not too fond of negative variants that are just one solid colour. If you know what the second variant looks like, you'll know what I mean. To me, it looks a lot nicer. And whenever you think of Thanos, you do think of basically the universe, so it's a wee bit better when they've all the sort of the stars and around the back of it. I'll showcase then a few books that I got from my own personal collection. For those who don't know, I collect Batman and Spawn. I sort of was thinking I'll collect Detective Comics, but I've sort of said no to myself. So Batman, Spawn, Spider-Man, they're my three main runs, and I've started to send off a few to be slabbed. So this is 657 of Batman. Got a 9.0. To be honest, not 100% sure why I got that. I'll have a quick look at it now myself, just again to see. I can see probably, yeah, I can see why this has been downgraded. You have 3 spine ticks here. Not 100% sure they were there when I sent them, to be honest. I'm thinking I might start to do a bit of a video series where I pre-grade them before I send them off, and then I can showcase the results. But yeah, I think this was the one that did surprise me. The others all got the grades, I thought. This was the only one that surprised me a bit. So I have a feeling this was mishandled a little bit, because I don't remember them being those spine ticks on them. It's always a hard thing to prove who done it. It could have been how they were handled when the packaging was being opened, how they were handled being graded, how they were handled by the post office. Very difficult to tell. Up next then we have the first Damian Wayne as Batman. Beautiful book, Batman 666, and we got a 9.6 in it. This is one, again, when I sent these off, I personally thought this was a 9.6. I was hoping it would slip through and get a 9.8, but it did get the 9.6, so it's stunning quality. Very, very little wrong with it. Potentially just one small little thing on the front cover on the right hand side of it, but very happy with the grade of it anyway, with a 9.6. Up next then, this is one, again, I personally thought this was an 8.5, and it did get that, and it's Batman 570. This is a Joker and Harley Quinn appearance, apparently. That was enough to sort of set that off. I think this might be, is it potentially maybe the 4th or 5th appearance of Harley Quinn or something like that? But it's a solid black, basically, cover. The reason that I knew it was going to be getting an 8.5, I'll see if I can show it on camera, if it will pop up, is, I don't know, again, it's very hard for me to see because I'm doing this on a very small preview screen. But basically just on this right hand corner here, it has got some corner damage. It's a lot easier, hopefully, to see on the back. You can see it there roughly. I can see it anyway very quickly. So again, it's a personal collection. I might sell it, might try and upgrade it myself. I might sell some of these actually and try and upgrade them and try and get maybe a 9.8 on a few of them. But another reason why I'm grading these is I'm going to be, basically I'm training myself for older comics. What is a 9.6, what's a 9.8, what's an 8.5, what's a 5, what's a 4. So you might see a few of these come back that you're asking yourself, why did you get this graded? It's basically so I can sort of see what CGC's level is and justify it. This here then, I thought it should have been getting a 9.4 or 9.2, but it got a 9.6. Batman 429. I wonder, will the camera pick this up? It mightn't pick it up because it's quite far away. But we basically have, just roughly here, quite a large spine tick. Doesn't break colour, but it goes like right across to here. And somehow I got a 9.6. Again, when I was grading it myself, I personally thought 9.2, 9.4 at a stretch. But CGC said 9.6. And again, I think most people are starting to realise it. CGC, it's all about opinion. And it's the opinion of somebody who, unfortunately, say they aren't really paid the highest. CGC claim they're experts, but from what I've heard, they're paid sometimes less than people who work at McDonald's. So I don't really know how much enthusiasm they have for the job, and how really far their expertise go. Up next, and I think this is the last one, I'm pretty sure, for myself, we've got Batman 638. I thought it was going to get a 9.4. It got a 9.4. It's got quite a few spine ticks on it, and again, none break colour. So this is also another thing. I'm probably going to experiment with these, where if I don't sell these to upgrade them myself, I'm probably going to crack these open, and then I'm going to practice cleaning on them once I get a bit better at it, because there sort of are a wee bit of value to these comics, because I feel that they should be things that I should be able to clean myself. So this is when Red Hood was revealed, spoilers, to be Jason Todd, and it's Batman 638, and again 9.4 for it. So just 3 more to go, and then we'll be finished. We've got another, well, might only just have one more comic really to go. Another copy of Season 2, Issue 3 for Mandalorian, cover A's, and another one. And then to round it off, we have another Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy Issue 1, the John Tyler Christopher cover, and all 9/8 on them. So that's all I've got for today. There was a few mechanical errors that were sent maybe end of November, December, that have arrived back as well with these packages. I wasn't aware that they were arriving back because they just showed up this morning. So I'll get double checking them. I'm not going to unbox them or show them on video. I'm just going to basically send out the emails if I think they've passed or need to go back again. So yeah, that's everything from this parcel. I'll hopefully have another video next week where I'm unboxing my 10s and my 9.9s. Quite excited to see them. I've never actually physically held a 10.0 before. I've held 9.0, 9.9s, but never 10s before, so looking forward to that. But yeah, for those that can, maybe contact me or something, leave me a message on YouTube running, just let me know how you thought audio quality will be. I'll obviously rewatch it myself, just to make sure it is all okay. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you again at some